Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News Midday starts now.
Thanks for joining us here on Midday. I'm Matt Fonts.
And I'm Kaylee Ann. Alyssa Royster has the afternoon off. Now we start with an update on Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old who's accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Robinson had his second court hearing today in Provo.
That's right. You may remember Robinson is charged with 7 felony counts, including aggravated murder, with the prosecution pursuing the death penalty in the case. ABC4's Bayon Wang was in the courtroom for us as it all played out and joins us live from Provo this afternoon. Bayon, Robinson's newly appointed attorney, Catherine Nestor, was in court for the first time on his behalf. What did she have to say, if anything, at all?
Yeah, well, so she was officially appointed as his attorney today. We know that Robinson retained her a few days ago, but the judge officially appointed her and the legal counsel in general today for Robinson. Important to note that there was very high security protocols for her appearance today, with absolutely nobody from the general public who were able to take any bags inside. Only the media and attorneys were allowed to do so. And even though the court proceeding today was only 10 minutes, it was a waiver hearing, so it was expected to be short. Essentially, Robinson had the opportunity to decide whether he wanted to waive his right to a preliminary hearing or if he wanted to move forward with one. None of that happened. Why? Well, first, he just retained his legal counsel, and they need to request the discovery that the prosecution filed those charges against them, the discovery that they used to get those charges officially on the table for him. So I spoke to Robinson's attorney today, and she told me that she anticipates requesting that discovery this week. The prosecution would then have 5 days to provide that to her. Again, a short court proceeding today, but the judge did speak to some of the sentiments he mentioned in the first hearing. Take a listen.
As this case moves forward, Mr. Robinson's constitutional rights will be protected at every stage. He sits before this court presumed innocent, and that presumption remains unless and until each element of every offense charged against him is proved beyond a reasonable doubt. At the same time, and as applicable, victims are entitled under our Constitution to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, free from harassment or abuse.
Okay, so again, the next waiver hearing is scheduled for October 30th. Let's futurecast a little bit. If Robinson decides he wants to proceed to a preliminary hearing, the prosecution would have to provide evidence to the judge that they have enough discovery, enough evidence to establish probable cause against Tyler Robinson. Now, if that happens, an arraignment would be scheduled, and that's where Robinson would have the opportunity to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. So this is just the beginning of a long journey, because remember, the prosecution is seeking the death penalty here. The defense, we still don't know what their strategy is going to be. Experts don't presume they're going to say Robinson is innocent, but they are going to work their hardest to get the death penalty off the table. And so far, we haven't seen any federal charges filed against him, even though the feds are alleging that they do have jurisdiction over this. In the state of Utah, it's also important to note that there are some strong statutes that make it hard to get a sentencing of the death penalty here. So there's still so much in the air. Another important note here is that Robinson did not appear in person again for the second time. The first hearing, he appeared virtually. We could see his face. He spoke. Today, none of that. He was able to see us in the courtroom. He was able to hear what the judge had to say, what the prosecution had to say, what the defense had to say, but we did not see him. There was a television screen, kind of like we saw in the first court proceeding, but his box on that television screen was blacked out. We knew that he had audio though, so if the judge had asked him a question, we would have been able to hear him. None of that happened today, but after the proceeding, I did walk his attorney to the elevator and I had a chance to talk to her a little bit. She said she intends on having Robinson in court in person on October 30th. Matt, Katie?